For me, the ice is where you drop all of your outside drama, your outside problems, everything. You just leave it right at the entrance of the arena. And I feel like that's the biggest thing is I've, personally dealt with a lot. I know a lot of the girls have as well, but it's coming onto the ice and not bringing those aspects of our home life that maybe stress us out or that impact how we're feeling in the moment, and just putting our best foot forward while we're on the ice. I try to do that as much as possible, and I feel like it's the best way for me to separate that from myself and also just give it my all while I'm out there, no matter what is going on outside of that. Hi, my name is Drea Barmonde. I play defense for the George Mason University Women's Club Ice Hockey team. Ever since I was little, I always saw it on TV and I really wanted to play hockey, but my parents always told me it was too expensive for a long time. And I ended up playing field hockey, so kind of its equivalent in high school. But the community wasn't very great while I was there, and I wanted to feel more involved in a family kind of when I came to college. And when I ended up going to the career fair and I saw some of the options for club sports, I saw field hockey and right next to it ice hockey. And instead of trying field hockey, which was in my comfort zone, I wanted to try something new when I came to college. So I chose ice hockey and it was wonderful. What was intimidating about starting later was that I knew that the competition, no matter who we were playing, was more experienced. They had significant years playing the sport, and I obviously was very out of my comfort zone, didn't really know how to skate at first. So I thought that that would be a big challenge for me to not only learn the skills and techniques of stick work and being able to shoot, but also being able to actually stand while I played on the ice. So my biggest challenge going into it was that I wasn't going to be able to have the skating abilities that people who have been playing for a couple years have. Confidence is a lot different now than it was before. I think before I was so focused on being a confident skater, and now that I kind of have those abilities, I'm less worried about falling. I think now the confidence is I'm going to go in here, I'm going to play hard, I'm going to push people around, and I'm going to own the ice, do everything I can. And it's more now about confident stick handling abilities as opposed to being able to stand up. I realized very quickly that I was a little bit more of a physical player when I could be. I do like to hit people in the game, especially if they're being frustrating or they're being kind of rude to my teammates as well. I think the physicality, but also the idea that you are in the direct line of the goal and that you can be that front line in front of your goalie to kind of stop everything that comes in there, but also be a very supportive player for your offense. So I know that there are a lot of different ways to play defense, but in my eyes, I see that as an opportunity to connect with your forward line and get that push to go offensively. So I try my best to kind of get around there and actually stick handle and do my best to connect that for the team. I think the biggest thing, like me going into the sport, I assumed, as from what I learned through other people talking about the sport, is that it wasn't a contact sport and that there were a lot of parameters that prevented you from making that a contact sport. And after just a few games, I realized this is definitely a contact sport. Everybody is either crashing into each other, getting around each other. It's definitely that like physicality that I appreciate in sports because I think it's a big part of it. I think being able to get up, recover, and come back from either falling down naturally by yourself or like from banging into somebody, I think that's a big part of women's ice hockey because it bumps us up to that more aggressive, but also like you have to be able to moderate that and be able to deal with that in the game. And I think that's what a lot of people don't figure or assume that isn't an aspect of women's sports. So hockey definitely started to feel like home after, I think it was 1 or 2 games into my first season there, my freshman year. I was with a few of the girls after the game. We just had a big loss. And instead of, taking that loss to heart, coming into the locker room with a negative vibe, some of the girls we all tapped each other on the shoulder. And we decided to just kind of take a few strides and then jump and kind of dive onto the ice to celebrate us being at home, us being together, and no matter what, the loss doesn't impact us. We're still a community, we're still best friends, and I love that about the team. We started doing that after every game, but that was kind of where I felt like this team was home for me. What makes it worth it is seeing my family, my friends that come out to the game, seeing them happy for me and cheering for me for something that I originally thought I wasn't capable of. I did not think I had the ability to play on a team as competitive as we are wanting to become. I didn't think that I was worthy of that as well. And given that high school, I struggled a little bit with the team sport environment. I felt like this team was just so supportive, and they just drove me to all of my successes on the team. And seeing that, family and friends recognize that, and they saw that that positive impact of the team was fueling me to, do better, show up. I think that's what drives me. I've never seen a girl on our team that hasn't wanted to not only provide for the team, but also had a drive to just be in the environment. I loved coming to practice. I loved every minute of travel, even though it was far sometimes. Like, I have never felt that way about a team, and I hope that we pass that on to anybody that we end up recruiting in the future, because I've never felt this way about a team sport before, and I hope that they see that this isn't just a group of girls that just come to play, come to win. I hope they see it as a family, that we're accepted, that we're just happy to be here. And I'm so happy that it found me at the right time. It gave me friends. It gave me just a loving environment to grow as a human, in addition to my sport abilities. And I can't thank the program enough for taking me in. It came at the best possible time. I hope we become really, really competitive, because I think a lot of times we have a lot of new girls, including myself, and I recognize that we are all doing our best to kind of learn the skills, learn how to use them. We're exploring new things, but also I think now that we have that, I see us progressively just using that in a more competitive manner and working our way up as we go. I think as long as we have continuous income of new players, the new aspect will not be a factor. We just need to keep on we need to keep on going for it and keep that strength up, and we can only go up from here. Make sure you join the Women's Club Ice Hockey team at George Mason University. Woo. Go Patriots!